Baltimore looked kind of good. It was yellow. I'm not sure why it looked kind of good. It had a good score. The housing prices were reasonable, so I went to Baltimore. And I liked Baltimore a lot. There was a great co-working space that my sister and I visited. Artsy people and all kinds of equipment there, and a lot of artist studios and a lot of ways to connect. This is all before COVID. And there were a couple neighborhoods that I really, really liked. But Baltimore, the places that were in my budget, it was like Beirut. It was just a wreck. The neighborhoods were terrible. The houses were crumbling down, which is too bad because it's close to DC, and parts of it are very nice town. I went to the ACC fair, the American Crafts Council fair, and spent too much money on jewelry, which is in Baltimore at the convention center, but I couldn't afford. Okay, so next, I seriously thought about Philly because it also comes up greenish on my spreadsheet. And same thing, Philly's good because it's close to New York. But the houses are a wreck, the ones that are affordable. So then I went to, let's just look at states, not cities. Well, they all look bad. Look at how red they all are. So I started on countries, and down on the left here you can see that I'm picking a couple of cities in every country. And I did a lot of reading on so-called best places to live, and a lot of these people are just selling investments in property. So Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, France, Georgia, Greece, a lot of countries. And here were some of the factors. Oh yeah, again, data source, in case I forgot where I got the information and how I'm weighting each factor. Okay, so we're looking at median apartment price, whether it's a decent city with art opportunities, whether it has a beach, whether it's good for artists, feature films produced there. Meisner training, that's a special kind of acting training. Property tax rate, property tax ranking, sales tax, groceries, yes or no, cost of living index, and these are why there are three here is because I had three different sources and they don't always give the same information. Peace index, climate change index, climate temperature next 20 years, pollution rank, lots of sources on that, sales tax rank, healthcare index, universal healthcare, yes or no, political stability, average internet broadband speed, average mobile download speed, quality of life. What else? That seems simple. And then everything got yellow, green, red. Oh no, the blue is the best. So that's how I did that. I ended up with the top countries were Germany, Austria, Spain, France, Bulgaria, Portugal, a lot of the Scandinavian countries, but unaffordable for me. So top three, top four. I picked Germany, Spain, France, Bulgaria. And really nice places in Bulgaria. There's some nice old-fashioned farmhouses. There's some nice chalets, whatever, old construction nearish the beach or nearish the mountains. And then there's a bunch of really new junk, I guess, but built specially for expats or for people that want to live there part of the year. You'll be safe. We have 24-hour security, and we can eat in the restaurant, and you never have to leave. You never have to actually go to Bulgaria. You just sit in your apartment, look at the beach, and no Bulgarians will ever bother you, except they might come and clean your apartment. But one of the problems with Bulgaria, it's like Montana. It's impossible to get there. It's like 24 hours to Paris or London or Barcelona or wherever you want to go, Berlin, Oslo, Amsterdam, it's impossible to get there. So even though the housing prices are really, really good. And the health index is good. They have good health care. Okay. I ended up with that I would visit Spain first and then France. And they got really good rankings on my spreadsheet. So 2 years ago, still before COVID, my sister and I went on a 2-month trip to Spain, particularly for house hunting. And we went along the Atlantic coast, which is the very northern part of Spain. We started on the very east and traveled across until we got to Portugal. And we looked at a couple of houses. We spent a lot of time touristing. And I realized I had to change some of my criteria. I thought I would like Bilbao, and I did like Bilbao a lot. It's kind of pricey. And at the time, I went to Bilbao before Barcelona. Oh, is that? No, it's just the camera. I thought it had a decent amount of opportunities to be an artist, performing artist or visual artist. Well, then when we got to the very northwest part of Spain, we decided we'd originally wanted to start in Barcelona, but there was strikes and you couldn't get a taxi and a bus out of the airport. So we went to Barcelona. We kind of flew, boom! Flights are cheap. Later on, I got a flight for $9 from Valencia to Sevilla or Sevilla to Lisboa. I don't know. Anyway, I fell in love with Barcelona. It's just a happy place. A lot of opportunities. Acting classes, artists, co-working spaces. And after we spent a couple weeks in Barcelona, we tried to go to Paris, but then there was a strike in Paris. So we went to Valencia, which is a really nice town too. And then I went to Sevilla and she went to Lisboa. That was 2 years ago. I went back home. By this time, my ex already knew we were breaking up, and I decided that I would come back to Barcelona and do house hunting. And then COVID hit. So COVID hit.